Okay. Hey, you guys.
Hey,
It's Haley again.
and Ashley.
Good news. We made it to episode 2.
We just gotta make it to like 100. Could you imagine? Small goals, small goals. We need like episode
Once we make it to
5.
episode 5, yeah, I think that's
Get the
gonna.
rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys. This,
Hundo P.
Hundo P. This episode, you guys. You're in for a treat.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Britney Spears. Not Britney Spears.
You guys heard her. We're talking about the ever so famous Britney Jean Spears.
Isn't it Jamie Lynn Spears?
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about her sister. We're not talking about her sister. We're talking about Britney.
Yeah, and I think, do we want to go over the Jamie Lynn stuff?
At the
well?
very end, there's some like tweets, or not tweets, but like some Instagram stories about her.
Okay.
But there's nothing much about her in the timeline.
From A to Z.
She was very irrelevant
in Britney's
life.
Yeah. Okay. You guys, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Britney Spears controversy today. I mean, Britney's had controversy since, let's be real.
Ever.
Yeah, like the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Even before then, when she like first started popping at like 1999,
98.
98.
Yeah.
She was like a sex symbol and people hated it in that time.
You either loved it or you hated it.
And most conservatives hated it.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated her for it.
She's an icon. Really for me, I was born in 1999, so I don't remember much of that era.
Mm-hmm.
I do distinctly remember the shaving of the head. That's what sticks out to me, is the shaved head.
I remember when her singles started, like, because I was 6.
Yeah.
When her first singles were coming out, like
wow.
Oops, I Did It Again and all those. I think it was Oops, I Did It Again. Or no, it was, what's that one song where she's dressed like a schoolgirl?
Hit me, baby, one more time.
That one.
Yeah.
Baby, One More Time. 1999, I was 6.
I think that's probably her most recognizable. Well, that and Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah.
Top 2 contenders. But this episode, we're going to kind of be going over a definitive timeline of Britney's life. We're not really going to get into the controversy until near the end, because we really want to go over her upbringing
and who she was.
Yeah, that way you can kind of get a feel for and make your own decision on what you think about today's issues surrounding her.
Yeah. So she was born to Jamie Spears and Lynn Spears.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've read, they had a really bad marriage.
Yeah. There was, I know we just said we weren't going to talk about Jamie Lynn, but Jamie Lynn was on a podcast. I think
I haven't seen that.
And she was talking about, it was right when Britney was kind of going off the rails, like
was
right
it Call Her
after.
Daddy?
It was, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember seeing it, but I didn't watch it.
Right after the conservatorship was, what would you say, ended?
Yeah.
When it ended, she came out on this podcast and was basically talking about how, she was just kind of like on the sidelines in Britney's life, and their parents just had a terrible marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that had to do with maybe alcoholism.
Yes. I wrote in here, it says Jamie's alcoholism started in 1977.
Wow.
And he was an alcoholic, and he was apparently I don't think he was I feel like abusive isn't the right word, but like,
you can
there was a couple
mentally...
times. Well, according to Britney, there was a couple times where she remembers him like manhandling her mom.
Yeah.
And like
it being a very physical kind of.
Yeah, but it wasn't like an all the time thing, I don't think, from what I've heard.
So per Lynn, which is Britney's mom, Jamie, like Ashley said, Jamie kind of really started heavily drinking in 77, and Britney's born in 1981, so you got to think by the time that Britney's born, he's been off the wagon for few years.
Yeah.
So that already kind of, it doesn't start off great
Yeah.
as far as Britney is concerned. So Britney's born in 81 in Mississippi, Macomb, Mississippi, which is near Louisiana, I guess.
Yes.
And by the time that she's 9,
I think, yeah. Yes. Yes. No, 8. She was 8.
8,
First auditions of the Mickey Mouse Club.
yes. So she auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club in 1990, but was too young to get on the show. So they told her to come back. She had to be at least 10. 92, this is where she kind of gets her foot in the door. So she makes her first appearance on Star Search, which was really big, I think, back then.
I apologize if you can hear my kid in the background because he's eating a bag of Funyuns. And I'm not editing it out.
It's okay. Funyuns sound kind of good. Oh, okay, sorry.
Haley hits the door. Stop. So, where were we?
Star Search, which the only other celebrity that I can think of that was on Star Search
I've
was
never heard of it until now.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. She was on Star Search.
Can
I
she
believe.
sing?
Oh yeah.
She a singer? I thought
Well, she's an actress. She
Yeah.
is. Do you ever watch what's that show? Ghost Whisperer?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Ghost Whisperer?
Yeah, I think so.
You guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah, where she talks to ghosts.
Yeah.
She can see ghosts.
It's a really good show. Anyway, yeah, I believe she was on Star Search. Yeah, she is, I guess. I don't know. I haven't heard her as an adult, but when she was a kid, great singer. Great singer. So Britney goes on Star Search at 10. She wins the first round. And you can actually see on YouTube videos of her performances on Star Search. She makes it through the first round of the competition, but she loses the second round. So she doesn't make it all the way through. But that's okay because she won the first competition of it. That's enough to get her name out there and kind of get her foot in the door for other opportunities, which ultimately she does.
Yeah. And then in 1993, she re-auditions for the Mickey Mouse Club and is accepted at the age of 11. Co-stars include Justin Timberlake, Curry Russell. Well, I don't know. People are going to hate us for that.
Sorry,
I already know people are going to hate us.
Sorry.
Christina Aguilera and Ryan Gosling. I did not know about Ryan Gosling.
So, I mean, that's a pretty star-packed group of kids.
Grew up like popping.
And I'm so sorry. This was before my time, so I don't know how big the Mickey Mouse Club was. I have to assume that it was.
I've never seen a day in my life.
Big, though. I have to assume
it had to have been because all these people are so famous now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but also it's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Disney. So, I mean, that's always kind of been a big thing. But anyway, so yeah, she's on the Mickey Mouse Club. That runs for a year. It gets canceled the next year in 94. So when the Mickey Mouse Club gets canceled, Britney moves back to Louisiana, Kentwood, Louisiana. And this is, I guess, really the only time in her life that she is normal. Yeah. I mean, everything from this point on, she's in the media.
Yeah. She went to prom her 9th grade year with her first boyfriend, Reg Jones. Shout out Reg.
Is it Reg?
Oh, shoot if I know. Reg. Reg.
I thought it was like Reg, like Reggie or something.
I said 100%. Gerard's going to kill me. I'm shouting his name out too. 100%. I don't know.
100%.
I don't know.
I think it's Reg Jones. Shout out to my mom for recommending the Britney Spears to us.
Let's just get our shout outs on the
You're
way.
a real one.
Shout out to our angels out there. You know who you are.
We love you guys. Anyway, okay, so from 94 to 98 is when she gets signed to her first record company, which is Jive Records. And 98 is when she comes out with her debut album, Hit Me Baby One More Time,
in Sweden. She lived in Sweden for a year to record it.
And you know what? I didn't know that
I didn't
until
either.
we started doing the research for this, which
Had
is
no
kind of
idea.
crazy. Anyway, Hit Me Baby One More Time comes out. Obviously, it's a huge hit. Everybody loves it. And then in 99, she goes for her first concert tour. She's an opener, but that being said, she opens for NSYNC, which is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. To even be
NSYNC.
part of that.
I was never a big NSYNC fan, but they were huge.
I was an infant one day.
Wasn't NSYNC Justin Timberlake? Is that how they met, I wonder? No, they met on the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, because they did Mickey Mouse Club together, and then Justin was in NSYNC. I get confused who was in NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Backstreet's back. All right.
I couldn't even tell you that line. But
Anyway,
then her lead single, Baby One More Time, debuts as #1 on the Billboard 200.
which is huge. It's a hit. I mean, even today, it's a hit song.
Mm-hmm.
That same year in April, she poses for her first major magazine, and she's on the cover of Rolling Stone.
My favorite picture of her.
So she is like, I mean, this is really her time. She's making waves.
And then in 2000, May 13th of 2000, she hosts and performs Saturday Night Live. So you know she's getting big.
Yeah.
Because it's...
Once they book you for SNL,
yeah,
you're in your prime.
Especially back then. Like, SNL is still a thing, but it's nowhere near as, like, big as it was apparently back then.
I don't think so either, yeah.
And then in May 16th of 2000, she released her sophomore album, Oops, I Did It Again. The album sells more than 20 million copies worldwide.
Isn't that so crazy?
I remember that cover of that album. I remember we had it on CD.
How old were you in 2000?
2007. 7.
Yeah.
I think. Did I do the math right?
20 million copies worldwide. Everybody and their mom has this CD.
Yeah.
At that point. So that same year, in September, this is where Britney and Justin Timberlake they are outed together. They are together. They are a couple. And this is where I don't know what award show this was. I want to say like the VMAs or like the MTV something.
Yeah.
Some kind of award.
What's it called? Teen Choice Awards?
The Kids' Choice Awards.
Close enough. I don't know.
I don't know. I could just be making that up. I feel like it was maybe MTV related.
Look, we're not here for all the knowledge.
Yeah,
we're just
you
here for the
guys,
basics.
you don't listen to this for the real facts.
Yeah. Even though we did have someone ask us, he was like, I'm a little confused on it.
We're trying to do better, okay?
We didn't go over our Justin Bieber edits.
Oh.
Like our mistakes. Maybe at the end.
Well, we were gonna, at the first of this episode, we were gonna talk about our mistakes from the last episode, things that we said that were factually wrong.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is that Hailey Bieber did not go to school with the Jonas Brothers. She was homeschooled, everybody. She did not go to school with the Jonas Brothers. She was homeschooled.
Which...
That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. That's good enough.
Yeah, good enough, you guys.
Yeah,
you're not here for the facts. Like, we do our own research.
Yeah.
We say what
on the internet.
Yeah.
And everything on the internet is true.
Everything.
Anyway, September 2000, Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake are together, and they're at this award show, and this is where the infamous denim on denim outfit is
that's
premiered.
coming back. It's all over TikTok.
It really is.
Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, people were wearing denim on denim.
I mean, Timberlake's got the jean fedora on, so
she's got like a jean corset and a jean purse.
And the glasses that you can like see through that have like a brown tint.
Is she wearing? Oh yes.
Isn't that so 2000s?
It is. They look
good.
They're icons back then.
They look really good. Not gonna lie.
They're a cute couple.
They are, and they were together for
4 years.
4 years, I want to say. So
yeah.
I mean, that's a long time to be together. Okay, so moving about a year, almost exactly a year later, Britney performs Slave for You at the MTV Video Music Awards. And this, if anything is iconic, this is the performance where Britney has the large albino python.
And I read online, which I haven't seen this performed. I've seen like bits and clips
Yeah.
of it, but apparently when she came out on stage, she was in a cage with a tiger.
What?
I could be wrong.
Think about how wrong that could have gone right there,
Yes, she
televised.
could have been mauled by a tiger.
They
Britney
just don't
Spears
do it
dead
like
at
they did anymore.
20.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then November 6, 2001, her third album comes out titled Britney. And okay, so I was reading a lot in between this time. She was getting so much hate from the conservative party because she was little kids' idol, but yet she was
Yeah.
very like
Over
sexualized.
sexualized.
Yes.
Definitely. I mean, she wasn't covering herself up. Not
Not
that
at all.
she, I mean, that's her prerogative, but she was definitely getting hate.
Yeah, and the paparazzi were insane for her. Like, James and I were talking about it the other day, and I was comparing her to, he told me not to compare her to this, but I'm going to anyway. Princess Diana.
Okay. Okay.
And because she died from being chased by the paparazzi. Some of these interviews I saw with Britney, like she could have died. Like she was going 100 miles per hour in the interstate.
Yeah.
Just trying to get away from these cars, and they were trying to like, not T-bone her,
Get
but
the
trying
picture.
to like block her in, and like,
yeah.
They could have killed her. Like it was insane.
There's a lot of instances that you'll see with paparazzi following, I mean, any celebrity around that's, got a big name. And a lot of the time they're put in really harmful situations. I mean, it's their job is to get the picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're going to do what they have to do.
And there wasn't laws back then like there is now for like children and stuff like that. That's why there's so many pictures of Britney's
like
kids.
protective
Yeah.
laws.
I want to say like Britney was one of the main people that were, one of the reasons why there's so many laws now for paparazzis when it comes to people, because
yeah,
I think she kind of paved the way in that.
There were definitely photos that the paparazzi took of Britney when her kids were born that raised questions, that got, child protective services involved because of some of the things that she was doing. Yeah. But just to kind of preface that. So, but yes, 2001, she releases her third album, self-titled Britney. And then the following year, she releases her movie Crossroads, which is such a good movie. If you've never seen it. Oh, yeah, I saw it when I was younger.
I tried to look it up while we were researching to watch it. Cannot find it on any platform.
Really?
It's not on Amazon. It's not on YouTube. You have to you have to go to this website, download this, and then click on this. And I'm like, absolutely not. So you'd have to buy it, I think, and watch it on VHS.
You know what? They would have had that at a Blockbuster.
Hundo B.
No, it is a really good movie. I like it a lot. Something really devastating though, that movie comes out in February. 3 months later, her parents get a divorce.
Which probably is good.
I mean, being a child of divorce is not fun, period. But sometimes people just aren't meant to be together.
Sometimes it's better too.
To not be together.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got children involved, which at that point, I don't know when Jamie Lynn was born, but she's only a few years younger than Britney, I believe. So,
yeah. And then July, a couple months later, she ends her 4-year relationship with Timberlake.
So things are just really kind of going bad.
And then his song Cry Me a River comes out.
Oh gosh.
And it's about Britney.
Oh, cry me a river. That song is so good.
And my favorite thing is when she was on the MTV Video Awards, where comes up next, is Kisses Madonna
on stage.
And Justin's face. I put a little picture of him.
I wish we could show you guys. I mean, this is a meme, but you can just see people behind Justin like in their seats and they're going crazy, okay? Because it's Britney Spears and Madonna on stage and they kiss each other, which the crowd is going to go
And in
crazy.
that time, like, you don't see that
It was
much on
really
TV.
a shock.
Yeah.
Really a shock.
And Justin's face, he looked pissed.
I mean, he
Like,
is just.
he looks like, how dare you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they break up in July and this is August.
Of the next year.
Oh, you're right.
So it's been a year since they've broken up.
He's clearly still salty about it. He's not happy. What was that? Did I kick something?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, so that same year, in November in 2003, Britney receives a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
And then the next day, she releases "In the Zone." I don't know one song on this album.
What's the
After like 2002, I stopped listening. Except "Womanizer, Womanizer." Oh,
you're a womanizer. Well, okay, Britney's peak, I feel like, was in 99 to 2001.
Yeah.
She did make, I mean, she'd made music up until this point, but she had like I feel like a short resurge in like 2010 or something, because that's when a lot of the like David Guetta, like kind of EDM type music, pop music was on the radio. And
when
so I
did
feel
Toxic come out?
Oh, let's do a quick Google search. Toxic.
We're about to get to the juicy stuff now that we get later 2000s.
Toxic released in 2003.
Oh yeah, that one was a bop. I remember when that
was a bop.
I remember when that music video came out.
That music video was controversial as well.
I remember coming home from school it would be like 4:00, and between 4 and 5, the MTV music videos would be on.
Oh yeah.
The countdown from 10 to 1 or 5 to 1, whatever it was. And we would sit there, and my friend would have a bowl of chocolate ice cream every single day, and we would just sit there and watch music videos, and I would make out the screen with Usher at the time because I was obsessed. But yes, I do remember Toxic.
Was that the same year that Confessions by Usher came out?
I don't know.
These are my confessions.
Dude, I am an Usher stan.
I think that might be the only song I know by Usher besides OMG.
We've got to change that.
I'm going to be very
2004 is when it came out.
Okay, same time.
Yeah.
Same time.
So that's a whole, if we're ever going to do a music pod, Usher is where it's at.
Okay, I'll do my homework. I'll get well versed in Usher. Okay, so yeah, this album comes out In the Zone in late 2003. Early the next year, January 3rd, 2004, Britney marries her childhood friend, Jason Allen Alexander, at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas. And to a surprise, the marriage is annulled 55 hours later.
Yeah, I saw in the interviews that they got married and her lawyers went to work. They're like, absolutely not. This is not going to go down. She had like a team. There's videos of her team coming out, and there's like 8 lawyers.
Oh, you're joking.
And they're like, her dad was like, absolutely not.
This is not happening.
And they got it annulled really quick.
Do you think that is because, and which we'll talk about later with Britney's dad, but do you think that they were so against her getting married because she was still in her prime and they really wanted her to focus on the money?
In all honesty,
projects?
I think the reason they freaked out was because she got married in Vegas, and when you get married, your assets become one. He didn't sign a prenup.
Yeah.
He didn't sign anything. So they had to get that bitch annulled.
55 hours after they say I do.
Or he was going to take,
what he could.
Yeah.
So, yes, the marriage is annulled 55 hours later. And this is I feel like this is the first point in which the shock factor of Britney, I guess, just the whole, I don't even know. I mean, with Britney, I feel like there's always been a shock factor just because of like her music and her music videos and, her performances and things like that. But I mean, getting married and then 55 hours later having it annulled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like the Kim K 72-day marriage to Chris Humphrey.
Yeah, but 55
But
hours.
55 hours.
People don't talk about it near as much. When that whole Chris and Kim thing happened, no one brought up Britney in her 55 hours of fame.
Yeah. They really probably wanted to keep that as hush-hush as possible.
And to fast forward a little bit, did you know this is the guy that showed up at her wedding?
No.
Do you remember those videos that came out of that
Yes.
guy that's like, "Where's Britney? Where's Britney?" Blah, 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 blah. And he like barged
Yes.
in her house and was trying to get past security. That's the guy. Same
So,
guy.
I did not know that. To fast forward just for a mini second, Britney got married like last year or the year before to her now husband,
Sam something.
He's Sam something. I don't know his last name. I think his full first name is Sam. But
his first name is Sam.
Oh, I thought it was
Sam.
Okay. I thought it was Hesam.
His last name is Asghari.
Okay, I was kind of close.
Close enough.
Britney has this wedding, but
he just barges in, and he says it was because he knew her what's that? How do you say that word?
Subliminal
Messages were like saying that she needed help, and so that's why he like barged in and was like, this marriage is not going down.
Oh my. They were married for a whole 55 hours.
Yeah, but I guess that since they were friends in childhood, I don't know.
He knows her.
But I want to say he also said, and I could be wrong, I could be like still thinking of something with Justin Bieber, but I'm pretty sure I read or saw a video that said that she was texting him before the wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what those texts said.
Because he was like, people made me look crazy when I was just trying to save
Help
Britney.
her.
Yeah.
She had to have said something like, I don't think I can go through with this. I feel like this is being forced.
Yeah.
Again, this is all speculation. We know nothing.
You know, last time everyone said I said 100% too often so they could drink every time. This time it's going to be the word yeah. Because every time you say something, I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
I do it just as much, if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that Vine? Yeah.
Crack kid?
The crackhead kid, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, gets married. Marriage is annulled 55 hours later. Same year, a little bit later in September of 2004, Britney releases her first fragrance, Curious.
Such a staple.
Which is a wonderful scent.
I don't remember what it smells like, but I do remember my dad was overseas in Iraq and he mailed it, not from Iraq, but like it was a present from him while he was gone.
Really?
And it was, and it had the little squirty thingy at the end of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are called, but
it's some kind of perfume terminology.
But yeah, it was nice. It was very fancy. But you
Um,
can still buy it off of Amazon for like $30
I
if you're
think-
looking.
I think my sister got this perfume and then she gave it to me. I don't think she liked it. And but it did not have the little
Mine had the little
squirty thing.
thingy.
But the top that goes onto the perfume like nozzle was like a little diamond, like a little blue diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet she still has that perfume bottle.
If you find it, I want to smell it. I bet
Okay.
I bet I'd have flashbacks.
You probably would.
So, and then September 18th of 2004, she marries dancer Kevin Federline.
And you guys, this is
The start of it all.
the start of where things really kind of begin to pop off in her life. After she marries Kevin, is it Federline or Federlin?
Federline.
Federline?
Yeah.
Okay. After she marries Kev, the following year, February 2005, Britney gets banned from the Oscars along with Paris Hilton and Pam Anderson because apparently the Oscar committee didn't want the award ceremony to become a sideshow.
Which she was kind
Ooh.
of turning into one because of the kiss
The
with Madonna
drama.
and all the craziness of her life.
Yeah, the drama. I mean, I don't blame them. It is a prestigious award show.
And you gotta think Paris Hilton at that time was very like,
Clubbing,
yes,
doing I mean, probably lines
Yeah.
of some substance.
Yes. Is that the time that she was doing that show with Nicole?
Oh,
What's
The
Nicole's last
Simple
name?
Life.
Yes.
Nicole Richie.
Nicole Richie, The Simple Life.
I think this was
Is
a
this
Simple
Sophia
Life
Richie's
era.
sister?
It is.
It's full circle. We just
It
talked about
is.
Sophia Richie. I just realized that. I just put
Children
two
of
and two together.
Lionel Richie.
I knew they both their dads, but I just never processed that they
Yeah,
were
they are
brothers, or they were
sisters.
sister and sister.
They are sisters, yeah. So yes, they get banned from the Oscars, and then later in April, she confirms that she's pregnant with her first child with Kevin Federline.
Yay!
Yay!
And then her and her boo thing host a reality show called Chaotic. I'd never watched it.
I didn't even know they had a reality show. It couldn't have ran for long.
And then in 2005, June, Hilton declares she would make a better mom than Spears.
Paris just with the digs.
Yeah.
I think, was this also around the same time of the Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan
feud
drama?
Yes. I don't remember what caused that. That's something we might want to deep dive later.
Maybe.
But yes, I do remember when all that went down. And when
Yeah.
they were in the car and they had a
Oh my gosh.
this is the time that they had where she got out of the car and there was not a nip slip, but
Oh no.
yeah.
Lindsay?
No, Britney.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, and I'll tell you a funny story when we get off of this because I'm not going to say it online. But
okay, I'll hold you to that.
Yeah, she had a little slip accident getting out of the
no.
car, and I want to say Paris Hilton was with her when that happened.
Probably. They were together a lot,
partying,
clubbing, and partying until they weren't.
Okay, and so then she gives birth to son Sean Preston Federline.
And then that next year in 2006, this is where earlier we were kind of talking about the paparazzi snapping photos of her and her children, putting her in situations, well, her becoming in situations where CPS was getting involved, Child Protective Services. So a photo surfaced of Britney driving with her son in her lap.
Down the interstate.
The baby is in her lap. I mean,
I saw an
not even a year
it.
after he's born.
I saw an interview about it, and she was like, well, we were at Starbucks or something, and the paparazzis got crazy, and I just didn't want to put him in the car seat because he was freaking out. And
yeah, she was just trying to do things as quickly as possible.
Yes, but still, you should never, PSA, you should never drive your kid without a car seat or in the front seat.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Your kid's safety comes first. And she may have thought that she was keeping him safe.
Yeah.
And just doing things to get away from paparazzi, but the safest thing would have been to put him in the car seat.
Yes. Recommended age for front seat riding is 12. Just saying.
Put it out there. People need to know.
Yeah, my kid's 9 and he still sits in the back seat.
Because that's safe.
Yep.
Okay, so these photos surface. The people again go crazy. They've got their opinions. Britney's a bad mom. All of these sorts of things are starting to kind of go everywhere up in the air. And then to make matters worse, a few months later, Sean Preston falls out of his high chair at their house. And then, so of course, Britney is questioned by the LA Department of Children and Family Services. And Britney claims she was not there when it happened. He was with his nanny. Yes,
I saw also an interview about this. And she was very smiley during the interview. And like the interviewer was like, what do you say about them? She was like, it's just gotten twisted. And it's not like that. And I don't think it was right how I was treated by those doctors. And the interviewer was like, do you think you were treated that way because of Britney and then the picture of you driving with your kid in the car?
Yeah.
And she was like, it shouldn't matter. I'm a great mom. And he wasn't even in my care when this happened. And this is out of context, but like.
You're still.
Pretty much. Yeah. After multiple accidents, they start to notice that maybe there's a problem.
Maybe there's an issue here. So yeah, that of course only fuels the fire of Britney being a bad mom. And then later this year in 2006, May of 2006, Britney appears on The Late Show with David Letterman and announces that she's pregnant with her second child. So this again causes an uproar. People are already mad because she is a bad
Take care of the
mom.
first one.
Yes. And so now she is now pregnant with her second child.
Okay. Then in September she had to be way pregnant because she gave birth in September. Because she announced in May, gave birth September. I guess that's not. Gives birth to son Jaden James Federline.
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly after files for divorce from Federline.
2 months. 2 months after.
And it's because, also read something that said it was because she was home with the baby. She was during postpartum.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept going to the clubs. And she was like, enough is enough. Like,
yeah.
I'm home. I just had the baby. You've got to step up. And he was like, she said, I'll give you one more chance. And he went out to the club that night. And she was like,
my gosh,
it's over.
That's it.
Yep.
I don't blame her. You can't, if there's two of you need to be taking care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, they do divorce. And then in February, so early of next year, Britney checks into a rehab facility, but then checks out the very next day. So she checks herself in. Next day, she's out, which
I really
rehab centers don't really work like that that I know of.
Well, I know that if you check yourself in, you can leave at any time.
Sure.
But if you're like mandatory there, then you're there for like, I think it's like a 72-hour hold. Something like that if it's court ordered.
I mean, I think that there's probably different not to say packages that you can get, but like some people stay in for 30 days. Some people, do like a cleanse. But yeah, I think 72-hour hold sounds right.
But I really want to know why she went into rehab. Like what drug, was it? I just want to know.
Maybe it was just, could it have been something like postpartum? Like postpartum depression?
Rehab. That would be a psych.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I think so. It's got to be rehab of some kind. James and I think that, or like I pretty much said, and then James kind of was like, yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Prescription drugs.
Yeah.
Like
if she just had her kid.
Yeah.
She's going to be taking something to, surely.
Maybe she got pain pills afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm just speculating, but who knows?
Could be.
And then my favorite Britney time.
Ooh, you guys.
February 16th, 2 days after she checks out of the rehab facility, shaves off all her hair in an LA salon. These are the best pictures on the internet. I hate that she's going through a breakdown, but we can laugh about it. It's been how many years? Like 15.
Yeah, something like that, 15 years.
So we can
This was on the news. Like, I remember this being on, I don't know what it was, like ABC Tonight or something, but this was on the news. So she shaves her head. Of course, the paparazzi are going insane, getting pictures of her shaving her head, exiting the salon, and then she takes an umbrella and just starts going wild with the umbrella. I mean, she's hitting paparazzi. Isn't she hitting a car at one point?
I think so.
She was fed up.
So then she announces, which they announced the divorce, but it's finalized in July of 2007. So nothing happens really crazy between the time of her shaving her head to the divorce. So maybe she just, I don't know if it was it's got to have been drugs. Because you just don't shave your head.
No.
But this is where you see her life kind of go downhill, like mentally.
Yeah.
And then she performs a disappointing version of Give Me More at the MTV Music Video Awards.
Which, there's definitely been worse performances by worse artists. But the thing about Britney is that she sets such a high bar for herself because she is such a performer. She goes so hard in her performances. I mean, the dance, the singing, like the not acrobatics, literally, but
yeah.
I mean, just the showmanship of it all. She really goes hard. And so this was just kind of like a meh.
And then, yeah, I feel like I remember this one. I'll have to go back and watch it, but I feel like I remember that outfit that she's wearing, that black sequence outfit. But right after that, she loses physical custody of her kids to Federline, which has got to be something had to have happened.
Something had to have happened. I mean, and this is where it had to have been drugs or something like that, surely.
Because they don't just take custody from moms. They really don't. They try everything not to take custody from a mother. So I really don't know. There's nothing a law online saying that it was drugs. She just.
It's speculation, but I mean, that makes sense to me.
Also, can we go back to the performance? If you zoom in on that photo, her hair.
Oh gosh.
It's from where she shaved it and it's
Yeah.
growing back. And so they did extensions under the inch of hair that she
And
had.
her hair is sticking up out of the the extensions, and you can
and it's
tell.
orange and her platinum blonde extensions.
Bad
Not
move.
a good look.
Bad move.
But that's what you get for shaving your head.
That unfortunately cannot be undone.
No, you cannot go back on
that. So she loses custody of her kids. That same month, her 5th studio album, Blackout, releases.
There's some conspiracies out there about Blackout. I don't remember what they are, but I feel like I saw something that said that Blackout never existed.
What?
Yeah.
It's a Mandela effect or something?
Yes. Obviously it's not, but
it's just hard to find or something like that.
I think so.
Let's see if it's on Spotify. Surely it is in her discography. Blackout. Britney Spears. Oh yeah, it's on Spotify.
What was the conspiracy about Blackout?
This has got some good songs on it. Toy Soldier, Gimme More. That was a good one. So, okay, yeah, this album comes out, and then in January of 2008, visitation rights with her children are suspended after an encounter with police. So, her kids get taken from her in 2007, and then in 2008, she loses visitation rights because of some sort of encounter with the police.
And this is where it really does start to get
we've said that 5 times, but
I know
this really is where
it gets
messy.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Because she gets committed into a psychiatric ward at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center and put on an involuntary psychiatric hold, which is so necessary. I feel like
yeah, she's not there by choice, people. She's put there because there's some kind of break in her mind. And we kind of see that in her actions in the public. So that happens in January. And then the next month, Britney's dad files for conservatorship, which lasts quite literally forever.
So are you pro it or are you against it?
So in the conservatorship got lifted in 2021.
Yeah.
And the year that it got lifted, there were a ton of documentaries, and I feel like it really only came to light because so many people were talking about it. And they were like, this is not right. This is 15 years that she's been under this conservatorship. And there's no proof that she needs it. She's not able to do anything about it. And all of this kind of uproar, all these documentaries and fans and, doing what they can to kind of get it noticed. That's really kind of what started it. And until I saw how Britney is just in the wild post conservatorship, I was like, yeah, let the girl be free. But now, after seeing the social media and the Instagram posts and the captions that are just nonsense, I'm like, oh, I kind of see why she had it, maybe.
Which a lot of this that we have, we could probably skim through it because it's just a lot of just legal jargon.
Yeah.
But so she gets on that, or she's under the, how do you say it, conservatorship.
Yeah, conservatorship.
So she's placed under that, which from what I've read is pretty much like, say she's in the hospital.
Right.
She cannot have visitors without permission. She cannot, if she's at home, she cannot text someone without permission. She cannot take phone calls without permission. She's not allowed a phone at all. She had to like try to steal it from her bodyguard just to make calls to people.
Wow.
Like you could eat what you wanted. Everything was planned out for you. You could not make any decisions based. Everyone's like, well, it's the money and all this. It's like, it's not about the money. It's that she was put under where she couldn't even choose what she wanted for breakfast.
The way I understood it was like power of attorney times 4 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like truly like you're a child and you can't make any decisions for yourself, and your parent is.
And at first that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
But so she gets on it, and this is where my debate starts to come in, because me and my husband had this conversation yesterday. Yeah. My thing is like, yeah, that sounds horrible. However, when you start seeing her, she starts coming out with more albums.
Yeah.
She's on the X Factor. She's doing her Las Vegas residency.
Yeah.
She's completely, and I hate to use the word normal for someone that's like not normal. I hate to use that word for people, but she's normal.
Seemingly normal.
And in the documentary, it says it's because on days that she was off work, she took one lithium every day.
Oh, that is insane.
The day that she was off work, or the day she did work, she took 2. So that's why she was normal, because she was taking those mood stabilizers
to get her through those
work days,
heavy days. Yeah.
And so that's why she was completely normal. So the moment that the conservatorship ended, that's why she went batshit crazy. She stopped taking her meds. She stopped taking her meds. I can't 100% guarantee she stopped taking her meds, but you can tell she stopped taking her meds.
In her actions, you can see, okay, this girl is not medicated.
Absolutely not. And James was like, why does she need to be? That was James's argument. And I was like, it's not that she needs to be. Well, she needs to be to function in society. Yeah. He was like, but she's rich. She doesn't have to function in society. There's a lot of rich, crazy people out there, and they just live day to day. Is she hurting anybody right now? I'm like, is she hurting anybody? But she's hurting herself at the end of the day.
Yes.
She's not doing herself any good. There's no reports out there about her being with her kids. Nothing.
She does often post on social media, I mean, Instagram specifically, saying, I mean, she'll post pictures of her sons and say, you know, I miss you so much. If what I wouldn't do just to, you know, be with you.
Take your lithium. Just take
I think
the lithium.
The thing that gets me is that she's free, right? She's no longer in this conservatorship. Nobody's making her do anything. She's living her life. Why does she not? Is nobody around her telling her, look?
No, I think she like got everybody out of her life. That I honestly believe, and this is just for me looking, you know, outside in, but I believe everyone in her life is enabling her. They're not
to make the decisions.
Yes.
Well, I see it all the time. I mean, until recently, and I looked last night. She did turn off comments on her Instagram page, but prior to her turning off the comment function, I mean, every time she would post something, which to me was insane, like a video of her dancing the same way for 10 minutes or like moving her body in the same pose for like, you know, however long, people would comment on it and go, yes, queen, like live your life. And that's great. Like she is free. That's, you know, whatever. But it is very much like an enabling.
Well, in that documentary you had me watch, it was very pro Britney.
Yeah.
Pro free Britney.
Yeah.
However, in it was talking about how Jamie Spears is the main guy over whatever.
Yeah.
It even said it in it there. He did make profit off doing that, but it's like working a 9 to 5. So to me, who cares if he made profit? He's working a 9 to 5 job, taking care of somebody, doing it, you know. He didn't like go out of his way to spend her money. Or if he did open businesses under her name, which he could, was all in favor of Britney. It was all to make money off of Britney. And so what I think, and another thing that makes me I don't think he did it in a selfish way, is because the moment she got engaged to, what was that guy's name? No, not Kevin.
Oh,
Um,
the high school sweetheart guy,
no, what was his name?
Jason Allen Alexander.
Mm-mm.
What?
There's a famous guy in between while she was on the X Factor.
Oh,
Who was she engaged?
how many marriages has she had?
She was not married to this guy.
Oh, they were just together.
Yeah.
I do want to read while Ashley's looking that up. So when the conservatorship started, her parents released a statement that same month that she was released from the psych ward. And their statement basically read this. They said, "We're deeply concerned about our daughter's safety and vulnerability, and we believe her life is presently at risk. There are conservatorship orders in place created to protect our daughter that are being blatantly disregarded. We only ask the court's orders be enforced so that a tragedy may be averted." And then after several extensions, the conservatorship was set to expire at the end of that year in 2008, but goes on for 15 years.
Right. So that guy's name is Jason Trawick.
Oh.
Trawick.
Okay.
They were engaged. The reason why I don't think her dad was being selfish in the way, the moment they got engaged, he gave him half and half. They were half and half of the conservatorship.
Oh, really?
So he was like, okay, so
Helping with the responsibilities of the
her.
conservatorship.
And I don't think if he was being a selfish man,
He would have done that.
I don't think he would
I
have
don't think
given
he would
over
have
any
given
rights to anybody.
to anyone. Yeah.
And not only that, he did it to her manager too. He gave rights to her manager, which like I said, the reason why I think Jamie should have gotten paid when he did get paid was because her manager got paid. He didn't do it for free.
Yeah.
So why did her dad got to do it for
Well,
free?
you got to think that's also, I mean, at this point, probably the closest person in her life is her manager besides her, flings or boyfriend, or fiance.
Speaking of flings, did we talk about her fling with the paparazzi? Did you see that?
Oh, no, but I did see that.
Those are some funny pictures. So she was getting gas one day and she was getting swarmed by the paparazzi.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, "Here, let me help you." So he puts his camera down and he goes over and helps her.
Yeah.
And he's like, so then she starts whispering in his ear. And then it starts going, he'll be out in public or he'll be out with other paparazzi people.
Yeah.
And be like, "Hey, Britney was asking for you." And he kept hearing that through the grapevine or whatever.
Yeah. Through his paparazzi friends.
Yeah, Britney's been asking for you. And there's videos of her putting her hand up to her mouth, whispering in people's ears, like,
"Where is he?"
Yeah, where's so I don't know how to pronounce his name, but where's such and such.
Ew.
And she all because he pumped her gas. And now they started dating.
Yes, I did see that.
Look at that photo of his little soul patch. But they started dating.
How long did that last?
Not long, but through the whole conservatorship at the end, he kept trying to sneak letters and stuff to her to get her a new attorney and to fight it and help her fight it and all that stuff.
Wow.
He was still in the picture quite a bit during the
Wow.
conservatorship.
I mean, good on him, I guess. He cares about her and wants to see her live her own life.
Mm-hmm.
But that is kind of weird. And by kind of, very weird. So some stuff kind of happens in between the parents releasing that kind of statement about the conservatorship and present day. I mean, I think a lot more can be said than just some stuff, but you know what I mean. In February of 2008, she does regain some visitation rights with her kids, and they do increase over the next couple years. And then later that year in September, her single Womanizer comes out, and this becomes her first #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 since Baby One More Time. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah. I just went dead for a second. I just zoned out. So then the conservatorship was extended again.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just fast forward because it literally just jumps to her
Year by year, it being
March
extended.
or May 2009 confirms she's dating her agent, Jason Trabwick. He later quits being her manager to focus on their relationship.
That is so crazy. And then just it's kind of skipping forward 2 years later, in 2011, she releases her 7th studio album, Femme Fatale. And this was a good album because this song that I was kind of talking about earlier when she kind of resurged in the mid 2000s, Till the World Ends, which was her second single, was on the radio everywhere that year.
I guess I don't know what it is.
I'll play a clip for you later.
And then 2012, that's when Jason, I totally jumped ahead earlier. Jason became co-conservator.
Yeah.
And he was over like her medical care and all that stuff, but not her assets. That was the only thing he was not over, which I get. They weren't married. Mm-hmm. Why would you give him access to her assets?
Yeah. An attorney who wasn't involved with the case whatsoever, but I guess was just kind of giving some insight, told People magazine, this is a very unusual situation because you don't generally see conservatees get married. Because why would they? I mean, it's not like, to my understanding, they're going out and meeting people because they're not allowed to.
And the main reason they said that she kept getting like extended, the conservatorship kept getting extended in that documentary, it said because she had signs of like dementia.
Like early.
There was another word in front of dementia. I don't remember what it was.
Onset?
But no, it wasn't onset. It was something else. But let me see if I can Google it. But I feel so unprepared.
It's okay. We're just talking. While Ashley's looking that up, I'll kind of skip forward to the, I guess, more important information. So that was in 2012, kind of jumping forward to 2016. Britney reportedly addresses the conservatorship based on a report from a Pop Crush contributor who was in the audience of the Jonathan Ross show. She addressed the situation head on for the first time, and she was promoting her album Glory. And she said on the show, okay, so I have this conservatorship. I've been under this conservatorship for 3 years, and I felt like a lot of decisions were made for me. So I wanted Glory to be my baby, and I've been really strategic about it. She reportedly said the quote was cut when the show aired, so they never let that go to air, that she addressed it. Mm-hmm. But it's out there somewhere, floating around.
It was just dementia. In the court records, it said dementia.
Mm-hmm.
Which everyone's like, that doctor should be disbarred or whatever. Not disbarred. That's lawyers.
I mean, it's like malpractice.
Yes.
Right.
But I doubt anything came of that. But she was later then diagnosed with bipolar.
Yeah. Which, I mean, again,
makes
you can
sense.
kind of see in the actions. Yeah. Kind of catching up to speed in 2019, she does announce a hiatus from performing. She posts to Twitter and says, I don't even know where to start with this because it's so tough for me to say. I will not be performing my new show, Domination. But it's important to always put your family first, and that's the decision I had to make. She said a couple months ago, my father was hospitalized and almost died. We're also grateful that he came out of it alive, but he still has a long road ahead of him. Following the announcement that she put on Twitter, attorney Wallet also resigned, getting out of the co-conservatorship. So he dipped.
Yeah. So I'm out. And in April 2019, Britney goes through treatment at a mental health facility. So she enters a mental health facility. It was later taken home by her boyfriend, Sam. That's when he comes in the picture.
Yeah.
And it was her decision to leave, but she'll still be monitored from home. Though the roots of the #FreeBritney movement have been planted, this incident riled up followers who have protested for her release from the treatment facility. That's where I'm saying they're enabling her.
Yeah.
Because, like, her fans should not be like, release her from the treatment facility. No, she needs to
She
be
is
there.
in the treatment facility for a reason.
Yes.
I can understand. I mean, she's been in this conservatorship for a long time at this point.
I think it was just trendy to be hashtag free Britney.
Yeah.
I
I'll
really
agree
do.
with that. I'll agree with that. That same year in May, like a month later, Britney attends a conservatorship hearing with her mom. Holding hands with her mom, Lynn, Britney attended the annual hearing, with a source telling CNN that she requested to end her conservatorship. So she did ask for it to be donezo. Earlier that week, Lynn, her mom, had filed to be kept away of Britney's medical conditions. So
Why? That makes no sense.
Yeah,
Why
I
would
don't
you
know.
not? I was talking to somebody today about it, and they said, like, we're talking about as a parent, like coming
Mhm.
from a parent, you would want to be the one that's over your child's medical decisions and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
for
You wouldn't want to
sure.
put that on somebody else. You'd want to be the
Especially
one.
if you know that your child needs to be under some sort of watch
Yes.
or some sort of legal.
Like, if they're a danger to themselves.
Yes.
Which she is. Like, anybody that says she's not is crazy. They have
Yeah.
not watched her TikTok lives or her Instagram lives.
Yeah.
Like, she is.
There's something going on
Yeah.
up there that's not quote unquote normal. But so in that same year, September of 2019, Jamie temporarily steps back as conservator, and he kind of cites personal health reasons. He relinquished control to Britney's caretaker, Jody Montgomery. And among those rights given to Montgomery was the ability to restrict and limit visitors, except for Britney's court-appointed lawyer, Samuel D. Ingham III.
So then in the August 17th of 2020, the conservatorship 2020, the conservatorship extended into 2021. Britney did not want her father to be the conservator anymore, preferring to make Montgomery, who is still temporary, her permanent one. 2 days later, her conservatorship was extended to February 1st, 2021.
So, September 3rd of 2020, Britney does acknowledge the hashtag Free Britney movement. She filed an objection to her father constantly sealing details of cases. This time, a case to put himself and Wallet back in charge. With a quote saying, Britney's conservatorship has attracted an unprecedented level of scrutiny from mainstream media and social media alike. Far from being a conspiracy theory or a joke, as James reportedly told the media, in large part, this scrutiny is a reasonable and even predictable result of James' aggressive use of the sealing procedure over the years to minimize the amount of wrong information made public, essentially. The filing also included "The world is watching." She also asked a wealth management company to serve as her estate's conservator. So she would have rather had a wealth management company serve as her estate's conservator, so her finances, than her father.
Yeah, so something happened between her and her father, because, like, at first she was like worried about his health and all that stuff, and now she's like, get out of the picture, man.
Get him out of here.
Probably because he stepped down and she got some freedom.
Yeah, she got a taste of it, and then she was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I can try to get him out of the picture.
And then some documentaries came out. Britney makes a plea in court. In a 24-minute passionate statement to the court, the 39-year-old opened the lens on her life she'd been living for the last 13 years. She said, I just want my life back. She said, I'm not here to be anyone's slave. I'm a slave. I'm traumatized. I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry. I'm depressed. I cry every day. Though the judge had said the session could not be recorded or live tweeted, It went viral quickly, and the audio attendance program was ended 5 days later.
Yeah. She also, prior to that, said that she kind of boycotted performing because she was like, as long as her dad is conservator, she's not gonna perform. Because Britney's lawyer kind of came out and said that Britney is afraid of her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and NBC News reported on that as well. Um, After Britney kind of makes that plea to the court, um, the wealth management company would just kind of dipped. They were like, okay, we're not gonna
We
be
ain't
in
dealing
on
with this.
this. Yeah. With a quote saying, petitioner has become aware that the conservatee objects to the continuance of her conservatorship and desires to terminate it. So after, Brittany makes it known that she does not feel that it's necessary and that she doesn't want it, the wealth management company is just kind of like, nah, we're gonna leave.
I think, and as you see over the next few months, everybody dips. They're all like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
And then we just fast forward to July 2023, or July 23rd of 2021, Britney asked for the conservatorship to end.
And then in August, the request to move up the hearing is denied.
Judge Brenda Penny denied the request from the movie to move from September 29th to August 23rd.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, 3 days later, after the request to move up the hearing is denied, Jamie Spears agrees to step down as Britney's conservator.
Yep. And then the following month, her father filed a petition to end the agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So did he end the conservatorship or in the agreement that he wants to step down?
Well, it says her father agreed to step down as conservator, but he didn't completely agree. And there was a quote saying, there are, in fact, no actual grounds for suspending or removing Mr. Spears as the conservator of the state. It's highly debatable whether a change in conservator at this time would be in Miss Spears' best interests. But he did agree to stepping back and acknowledge the public's pressure. So I don't know. It said there's no grounds for removing him. So that tells me the court didn't feel like there was
needed to be removed.
Yeah.
For him wanting to be. I mean,
yeah.
That's weird.
That is weird.
But then September 12th, 2021, Sam proposes to Spears. The couple shared a happy news on Instagram, and Sam's manager, Brandon Cohen shared an additional statement to people that he is proud to celebrate and confirm the engagement.
Yeah. Officially, that next month, exactly a month later, the conservatorship ends. And that kind of brings us to speed on just some of the crazy things she puts on her social media.
I wish we had video where we could show what she posts on social
media. Which, you guys, the posts that we could reference are really endless. So, but some of them are pretty notable. So we are going to go through some of them. Let me just get this pulled up. Which we talked a little bit earlier about the Jamie Lynn and Britney kind of squabble, and they seem to call each other out and talk to each other back and forth via their own Instagram accounts, because Britney was really not having it with Jamie Lynn, and Jamie Lynn was really trying to be like,
sister, I love you.
Yeah, please just calm down, call me, stop this, it's embarrassing. So that went on for a while. But one of my favorite things, which we've kind of talked about, is people thinking that Britney is a deep fake.
Yeah.
So
I don't believe this, but
I don't either, but it's kind of amusing to see
like it's a real big stretch.
The videos. Some people seem to think that there is like a double playing as Britney, you can definitely hear that verb. That there's a devil playing Britney, and then they're just putting a deep fake over her face, which essentially is just like an AI face of Britney Spears.
And they either think she's dead or locked up. Like the conspiracy is she's in jail or something, prison, or like locked up captive in a castle.
Prison?
Like, no, I don't know about prison, but like locked up in a castle somewhere.
Like a padded room.
Yes. And then what ties into it is that Sam, her husband now, they got married, works for like an AI company or something, or he does something with green screens. Like he's got his own green screen room and all this stuff. So they think like there's a lot of videos of her where her hand looks like it goes through his body or.
Well, and a big thing that people like to bring up when it comes to what she's posting versus like places that she's at or like events that she's gone to, she's like almost never wearing the same outfit.
Mm-mm.
And so that's why people think that her going to like, I think it was like Paris Hilton's birthday party or something, things like that, people think were faked because Sam would post videos of like Britney getting ready that night, but then she would be at the party in something completely different, which I guess she could have just changed her clothes, which seems like kind of a normal thing to think about. But
so speaking of the Paris Hilton party,
yeah,
so a picture comes out of Paris Hilton and some guy, I don't know who the guy is, and Britney, and Britney posts the photo and says, "Sorry about my post from yesterday with no music." That exclamation point. That was horrible. I roll. Oh well. Here's me going through my closet, realizing outfits I have never worn. I am a practical shopper, but I was really surprised by going through my closet and what I found. Also, I have no idea about these pictures of me at a birthday party. I haven't been to a birthday party in forever. As for the pictures, those have to be from years ago. Kind of creepy and weird that no one is talking about that. Makes no sense whatsoever. Anyways, here's me modeling red outfit number 1. That means that there are way more to go. 7 is my favorite. I will share with you lovely people. That photo was recent.
Yeah.
That was a recent photo.
There's no way. I mean, Britney Spears looks visibly different than she did, 10 years ago.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And Paris Hilton even looks different.
Yes.
So it's a recent photo. So then Paris posts to all those asking, some of these photos were taken on an iPhone, so they ended up being blurry. So they used this app called Rimini to make it look unblurry, and sometimes the AI distorts images. Didn't even need to dignify this with a response, but some of these conspiracy theories are absolutely ridiculous. So she didn't like say that it was Britney, like pointing at Britney saying that or anything, but people were saying that half of her necklace is missing in the photo. Like the string of her necklace is gone.
Yeah.
But she said it's because they over edited the photo, which would make sense because Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, all them edit their photos.
All of that.
Yeah. So
that does make sense. I think the thing that is just most bizarre to me, which really isn't bizarre, it's just kind of makes me scratch my head when I read, is her Instagram captions, because they never make sense. Never make sense. Which that to me, I just crack that up to.
They read like a manic episode.
They do.
Like she's in a manic episode.
There is a girl on TikTok that like tries to justify the posts, and I wish I knew her handle, that way you could go see some of them. I'm sure you can find them on TikTok, but she says, you guys are like reading too much into this. She's just posting the captions. She's a Southern girl. She's from Louisiana. You just have to read it like in a Southern voice, and it makes sense. But they're just so.
Since she was like 10.
Yes, like pre-teen. I want to find one of them, and then I'll read it, because they truly are just so all over the place. Oh, here's a oh gosh. Here's a 3-page kind of confession about buying something for herself.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, so Brittany says in this post that she posted November 2022 to her Instagram, and this is just going to be kind of bits and pieces, so I'm not going to read all of it together. But she says the significance in buying something for the first time in 15 years. Security held my credit card for 15 years. When it was time to purchase, I always had to step aside and be ghosted as I would type in the code and write my name. It was always a credit card. I hadn't had cash in years. I forgot what it was like to buy something. I mean, you would think I was the hardest working one in my family. I got my first ATM card a year ago, the exact date. Pretty big deal for me. Hopefully, just a few can understand the belittling mortality of waiting in line with a man always ahead of you, ghosting you, and purchasing things on your behalf. So, I mean, that kind of.
Sad.
Yeah. And then she goes on to talk about labor laws and like some other things too.
So is that her in a manic episode or is that her normal?
I mean, I think that her thought process there is very, somewhat sane.
Yeah.
But it's the way that she conveys things
Yes.
that are like just so hard to follow.
Right. Can we talk about her gap teeth?
Yes.
I can't explain that.
I can't either.
It's like a perfect gap right down the middle.
Now
right
this is
the
what I've seen on the internet as well. Yeah, TikTok. People think it's drug use.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
But like, does drug use just give you a gap tooth?
I mean, all of her teeth are kind of spaced out, it looks like.
Someone told me today that it could be like if she had like her wisdom teeth removed or something like that, and then they shifted.
Space. Maybe.
But it's a perfect line from her top to bottom teeth. Perfect gap.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. She has all this money. Get it fixed.
It just doesn't, like, she doesn't look like Britney Spears to me.
But she's
and I know
aging,
that she's,
though.
She is, I know. But just, I don't know. She just doesn't, I mean, which I don't think that she's had work done.
Mm-mm.
I don't know that they would let her have work done. But she just doesn't look.
She looks kind of
real. Yeah. And I mean, her hair.
And her mascara under her eyes.
Always.
Like, she's always got black, like, smudges all over under her eyes. It just.
She needs to get some.
I think so. She doesn't have
water
people in her space. Like, people in her life that are like, look, sister.
Clean it up a little bit. Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I know. And you would think, like, especially because Sam, her husband, like, he's a good looking guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's
attractive for sure.
He's always looks like really put together and like clean, and you know, I don't know. You think that he would be like, okay, let's kind of pick things up a little bit. But
maybe they're the happiest people on the planet. Maybe they're so in love. And
I hope that for them.
I do too, but I doubt it.
It's
very fake. Like when they're online together.
Yeah. Every time that like Sam posts a photo or like a video of Britney or anything like that, people really get to work to see, is this real or not? Is this like CGI or something like that?
I don't think it is. I really don't. But really, to like, at the end of it, my opinions were I think she's on drugs because of her teeth.
Yeah.
They don't look like rotten or anything. It's just the gap.
They're just like different teeth.
And then, or like maybe she stopped wearing her retainer at night. I don't know. She just quit wearing that retainer. You know, the dentist says you gotta wear it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
James has got a permanent one.
I've got a permanent one on my bottom teeth,
so
but I don't think it does anything.
Do you have a lisp? But James has a lisp.
Do I have a lisp?
He says bathroom. He's gonna hate me.
I think I have a slight.
You can't tell
lisp.
James. You can't tell James's lisp at all. I only know it because I make fun of him for it. But
that's okay. You're married to him.
What else would I be here for?
Yeah, that's what marriage is all about. So, what are your final thoughts?
I think the green screen is a stretch.
Okay.
I think it's just overly edited photos, or they're taken on like a an iPhone from 2004.
The thing with over editing is once you edit something so many times, it's gonna look like it's fake
Yeah.
because it's just the content has been so manipulated that it doesn't look real. So I agree with you there. I think that it's just overly edited.
Yeah. It's pretty much all my thoughts on her. I think I feel bad for her. Like, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
As someone that has dealt with, I'm going to talk about it again, bipolar.
Yeah.
And like 3 years ago, I was batshit. I was crazy.
Yeah.
I was a little cray. And it was pretty bad. Like, I'll never forget, I went into my place of employment and I was like, look, I think I'm gonna have to be admitted. Like, I think I'm having
Things
severe,
are getting rough.
Yeah, I'm like, this is, so I kind of get the shave head thing. I would never shave my head, but I kind of get where her
Being to that level of like
insanity, like,
yeah.
And so it really hurts me that I feel like she doesn't have anybody in her corner. Like, I have James, he's a support system. He was always sitting next to me and was like, okay, what do we need to do? Like, what's our game plan?
Yeah.
She doesn't have that. And I think the moment the conservatorship ended, she lost that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right. And I think her fans are doing her an injustice, or is that the
Injustice,
right?
yeah.
Injustice, yeah.
Yeah.
To then just be like,
hype her up for
being
not
she
the
might
best
not
version
be
of herself.
she might not be a danger to society, but she's a danger to herself.
Yes. I think that hopefully eventually there will be a time where she does take care of herself and her mental health and her body, and maybe that means getting medicated, maybe that means going into some sort of treatment. I don't know what that looks like for her, but get to some sort of level-headedness.
And that's the thing, is like, I did it for my kid. I don't want
Yeah.
him to grow up in a household where mom's like being insane.
Sure.
So I did a deep dive on Kevin Federline. He doesn't have social media really, but his wife does. She doesn't post often, but she does. And
Yeah.
she's only got like 9,000 followers.
Jeez.
And so I was looking, and Brittany's boys are grown. They look like they live a normal life where they
Yeah.
get good grades. They get put on the fridge. Like, they have birthday parties. They look like they live in a normal.
I think that's the best outcome for them.
I don't think they should be with their mom. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine how quickly that would have turned for those boys. I mean, especially because of the traumatic, like, just photos of them, like, of the paparazzi from when they were.
I mean, they're going to have,
babies.
like, trauma growing up. They're going to
100%.
have mommy issues for show.
Yeah. For sure. It is good that they're living a normal life.
Yeah, and they have this stability.
Yeah.
Of family and stuff like that with him, which I would never think that Kevin Federline would be a good dad. Like, I genuinely was like, he's
kind of shocked.
Yeah, but they've got like 5 kids.
Wow.
Total, I think.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of kids. I got one, and I'm like, I'm one and done.
That's it.
Absolutely not. No more.
Well, I think that you can definitely do your research on this, and there's plenty of YouTube videos, and I mean, even just going and taking a quick glance at her Instagram page, and you'll see what we mean.
Yeah. Let us know your opinions.
Yeah.
Are you pro? Are you against
conservatorship for Britney?
Yes, we need to know.
Let us know in the comment section.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, give us 5 stars.
Yeah. If you guys like this, make sure to click that bell.
I've always wanted to say that.
I know.
No, but on YouTube, subscribe. Spotify, follow.
Mm-hmm.
Apple Podcasts, follow. We're on Amazon Music. Don't know how that works, but
we're there.
Use it. We're there.
We're there. You can look us up.
We're literally on every platform.
We do have a Facebook page.
Oh my yes. Go like our Facebook page.
Go like it. Leave reviews. Leave suggestions of what you guys want to hear next. So we really, really appreciate all the support.
We've been getting a lot of support.
It's been
so lovely.
It has been so It's been so nice.
People are so supportive. People that I did not think that would listen.
Yes. I mean,
tune
even
in.
if, I mean, because let's be real, celebrity gossip is not for everybody.
Mm-mm.
In fact, I would say most people it's not for them, but even the people that don't love the topics are just so
They're still listening.
supportive.
Yeah.
So, which is so nice. So, thank you. We really, really appreciate it.
Well, Haley,
I
till next
think
time.
that's all I got in me this episode. Ashley,